or taisetsuni means honor your fish. And then my inspiration came from working at this fish company in Boston, because Boston and Seattle, I should say, are one of the few cities in America where you can actually see the live fish coming back from the fishing boat. Like I work in New York, but there is really no such mark like a pier where actually boats actually come back and unload the fish. And then my my most important mission at this fish company was to bring sushi grade fish to restaurants in general. And then sushi grade fish a lot of times come from Japan. And then I often get requests from other chefs, how come that we cannot get local fish available for sushi quality? And then I was always in the struggle between, like trying to import excellent fish from Japan to the like a high-end and sushi restaurants and American and French restaurants, which I enjoy. At the same time, I always got this request from other kind of a group of people wanting to introduce more local fish for sushi and sashimi. And then since I was in Boston and close to the fishermen, and then I also went to the pier and purchased fish from them, etc. And then a lot of times I had opportunity to go to Japan Tsukiji fish market and work with the people that we import the fish from and how they take care of their fish and stuff. So I totally saw the two different, like two different culture pretty much. Japanese fish at the fish market, Tsukiji, and then American fish at the Boston fish market. And then the one thing I realized that was most important was that the fish are as good as each other when they're not touched by people. And then the quality changes after people are touching the fish. And then Osakana o taisetsuni ni honor your fish has a lot to do with how you take care and how you handle the fish, which changes the quality of fish. And then since the fishermen and the logistics and then the people at the market handle fish so much better than the people in America in the seafood industry, that's why the quality of the seafood remains much higher than the local fish, even though the fish comes more far away. That's why the biggest sort of like mission that I had from Osakana was to sort of import the way of handling the fish, taking care of the fish from Japan and then apply to the fish in America so that the quality of local fish will be as high as the fish from Japan. So that was sort of my inspiration and the philosophy behind Osakana when I started 5 years ago. Yeah. So Mottainai means no waste in Japanese. And it's also an expression like, oh, what a waste. Like if you see something that's being wasted. And then, so Mottainai applies to both ways, two ways for me. One way is to literally use every part of the fish. So all the fish bones and the head are the good source for making a stock. That's why I actually started my ramen business in New York. Started my whole business as a YUJI ramen business and trying to focus on the fish-based broth because you can do so much out of it. And then working at the fish company in Boston, I sold so much tuna to a lot of the customers. At the same time, end of the day, you see a pile of tuna bones being discarded. So that was like always, me 25, 6 years old, like trying to see what could be a next business opportunities and also something that I wanted to introduce to the people. So no wasting any parts of the fish is one mottainai, but another mottainai is also about no wasting an opportunity. So there is amazing seafood out here in America, but people don't know much So they are wasting opportunity because they just don't know. So Mottainai works in those two directions. We have sort of changed our direction of like how, like I tried 4 years in the past to focus on local fish and trying to make it available for my consumers. But a lot of times those fish are what we call shiromi or white fish. And then the white fish is very difficult to attract customers. White fish is something that's good if you have it, but to bring people in, you kind of have to have something that really please the customers, such as turtles, uni, and as fatty fish in general is something that people would really like enjoying. And then there is not so much fatty fish in America in wild compared, exception is only the wild bluefin from Atlantic. But everything else is pretty lean whitefish, which I like, but it's not so much popular among American customers. So I changed a lot of fish selections here. If you look at my website, most of the fish actually come from Japan now, because that actually what brings the business. And then also, it actually encourages people to look into whitefish too. So so the percentage of local fish versus Japanese fish right now, Japanese fish is so much more than the local fish right now at my store. But the reality is this local fish, I sell so much more than before as a volume, even though the ratio of the Japanese fish and the local fish is small. But in like at the end, I'm selling actually more local fish than before by just combining Japanese fish, because I'm just like bringing more volume to the store. That's something that I would never thought of. And that's why like all the fish that I miss from Japan, like the fish that I got samples, like when I received it, it just like such high quality. And then it has really nice like fat content. And then the quality itself is just so way superior. The reality is, and then it's just so satisfying to work with again.